What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see you back. So I just picked up myself this 2021 YZ450F. Really great bike overall. Fuel injected, has all the goodies, low hour engine, but it has a slight issue. The engine makes a ticking noise on the top end. Personally, I think it's the timing chain, but I'm not sure. It could be the crankshaft, I don't know. So in this video, we're gonna tear into it and hopefully find out what the issue is. I don't think it's something majorly serious because I drained the oil. There was no oil, there was no metal shavings in it or nothing. And this bike is low hours. It's like a couple months old, so I don't think anything bad would be like a crank. So let's start it up and show you what noise it makes. That doesn't sound like the valves to me. It sounds like either the timing chain or the crank. I hope it's the timing chain, but I don't know. So if anybody's wondering what these two buttons are right here, this right here is the map switch button, and this right here is the whole shot, so it's like launch control type of thing. So I'll take it to a shop, start tearing it apart, and find out what the issue is. Alright guys, I'm about to start tearing into it, but since everything on here is so new and nice, I have a shelf that I'm going to put together and put all the parts on there. Okay, so I got a nice safe place for the parts. I've actually never worked on a dirt bike this new before, so this would be something new and fun to learn. Alright guys, so I got these radiator shrouds removed. It's pretty crazy that there's 6 bolts holding them in just one shroud in. So let's continue. Next thing I want to remove is this thing right here and the gas tank. Okay guys, so I got this loose here. Now I have to unscrew this bolt right here to pop this coil out. And this, and hopefully this comes right out. So the next thing I'm going to do is unscrew these 3 bolts and pop off the valve cover. Okay guys, so I popped off the head cover and I found 2 things. First, this timing chain is kind of loose, and second, the timing is off. So I believe the loose timing chain caused the timing to be messed up, so I'm probably going to retime it and then hope for the best. Okay guys, so in order for me to do this job properly, the exhaust has to come off. So let's start. So I removed the exhaust header so I'll get better access to this timing chain tensioner. So let's remove that. So guys, a little update. I timed the bike right, put the timing chain, tightened everything up, started it up, and it's still making the same sound. So it's either my cylinder or a piston or something like that, or the crank. Next thing I'm going to do is check my shims first, and then if that checks out, I'm going to pull off my valve, my cylinder, check that, and then check the crank, and if the crank is bad, I'm going to continue and pull the motor. So let's do that. And the valve shim expert's going to check them. You can find your specs in your owner's manual. These are my specs. Alright guys, so I checked all the shims. I mean, he did. They're all in spec. So the next thing I want to do is probably remove this head and inspect the cylinder, the bottom of the valves, and the piston. And then if that all checks out, I want to remove the cylinder and check the crank. Alright guys, so I just got the exhaust removed. It's actually pretty straightforward progress. So let's keep going at it. The next thing I gotta remove is my radiators and my fuel injector. So I pulled the cams out, laid everything out. So I noticed that I was gonna pull the radiators and fuel injector out first, but I decided to just pull the cams out. Got it all covered up, zipped up the timing chain. Alright guys, so the damage report. I'm going to start from the worst and go up to the best. So the number one worst damage is that those crank bearings in the engine are bad. So they're the ones that are on the side of the crank. So that means I am going to have to split my engine cases to get to that. So for the next video I'm going to be pulling this motor out and splitting the cases. So the second worst thing is that the cylinder right here is scored. That is probably because of something fell down into the crank and ruined it, or maybe the crank bearings were seized and kind of ruined it. But the cylinder is pretty scored right here. I might buy a big bore kit or something, we'll see. And the third and final damage I found is this piston right here. It's scored on the side. But nothing too big, nothing I can't handle. So guys, just like I was thinking, my crank bearings are bad. So I'm gonna go order those parts. Probably gonna split the cases first. So stay tuned for part 2 of this video, and see you next time.